single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day.
Assalamualaikum and hello YouTube, my name is Nur Muhammad from NMWatch, and yes, I'm back with another video. So this time around I'm not going to be doing a review, but in particular I'm just going to talk about, or I'm just going to rant a bit about the recent hike in Seiko diverse watches prices. Alright, so let's just talk about basically what I'm gonna try to not explain. I'm just going to share with you what are my opinions on the price increase of the latest Seiko models and whether or not they are worth the money. Right, so before we do that, let's do a quick wristwatch check. Today I am wearing my Casio, this is called DW2 219, or is it DW291? I totally forgot the model name. I've done a review for this particular piece. Please go ahead and check out the review if you guys are interested. Let's get back to the Seikos. Right, so in my possession right now I only have three Seiko diverse watches. This one is borrowed from a friend of mine since the end of February 2020, but I couldn't see him yet because of the movement control order that is enforced in Malaysia right now, so I cannot return this watch to him. So yeah, that is why it is still in my collection. But I do have my Seiko Monster Dracula, or the model name is SRP313K1, which I've had since 2014. This Seiko Paddy Turtle, or the SRP-A21, I've had since 2018. No, I think I've had it, yeah, maybe it's around 2017, right? So I've had this for about 3 years, this one 6 years, and this one is borrowed from my friend since February 2020, right? So let's talk about the price, right? So when it was initially launched, or it was launched in for this Seiko Monster, I think it was launched at about 150 to 200 US dollars. So let's just take $200. So maybe it was the retail price was $250, but I've got this for about $150, which is really cheap at that point of time. So the problem with this second gen Seiko Monster is you can't find them anymore, and if you do, you might have to fork out maybe about $300, I think. Yeah, so that is the much more reasonable price. And if you do want the orange dial version, that's going to cost you like what, $500, which I don't think it's worth the money, right? So that's for the SRP-A21K1. So you could have this for about $300 or $350 now. So I've got this for about $360 to $400. I can't remember how much at that time, but yes, you can still have this. But for this one, I've checked this particular version, SBDC 029, the price on the Nomon Watches website from Singapore. This one will cost you $899 shipped from Singapore to all over the world. Of course, you could find this retail on the store at maybe $800 or so, but still, if you take into consideration that this is a $800 watch and you compare it to this SRP-A21 or the Seiko Turtle Paddy, my question here is it really worth the money? Right, so let's talk about it. Of course, this SBDC 029 or the Seiko Shogun is using a full what they call this titanium case and also a titanium bracelet, and of course it gives that light feeling. When you wear it on your wrist, it will feel light compared to your normal stainless steel watches, but still $800 is really quite high for something that tells the time similarly as the Seiko Paddy Turtle, right? So that is one thing. The second thing that that annoys me so much is it looks like Seiko doesn't really bother to solve the issue of the chapter ring alignment, right? So that is what I'm really pissed off about Seiko right now. So this is not the first middle end Seiko that I've had. So previously I've had the SBDC 053, the modern version of the 62 mast, right? So that one I've bought that particular piece in Japan, and at that point of time when I have two pieces for me to choose from, but when I choose the watch, I totally forgot to check the chapter ring alignment, and subsequently when I got back to Malaysia and I checked, oh shit, the chapter ring is misaligned. And when I go back to Japan to and ask the dealer whether I can return it or not, they say that Seiko will most probably will not entertain this kind of quality problem. For them, the chapter ring alignment issue is not really a big deal, so they just asked me to suck it up, and yeah, that is what I did. And subsequently that watch was sold. Right, that watch was sold. So that watch cost about $600, and this thing is $800. So is an $800 watch really is a chapter ring alignment free issue? Right, does it really have the same chapter ring alignment issue? It does, right? So if I can focus a bit more, let's see, and if you see the chapter ring on this particular, check out that 9 o'clock, right? So you can see that the chapter ring is just maybe 0.5 millimeters from going down. This one is not, this square is not entirely in the middle of that 9 hour marker. So yeah, and then yeah, that makes it, for me, if I am going to spend much for this for one watch, that will annoy me, right? So subsequently, because this is misaligned, the 6 hours rectangular also misaligned, and on top here you can see that there is a bit of maybe about 0.5 millimeters slight misaligned to the left, right? So the problem is this bezel and that square minute marker is aligned. So I'm not really sure whether it's the chapter ring is misaligned, or the dial itself is misaligned. So I'm not really sure, guys. So that is why, you know what, it's quite difficult for me to suggest to you to get your middle class Seiko, or middle I'm not sure. This is what you can call entry level diver, right? So this is also an entry level diver. So this is what I call a middle class, or it's not really a high end yet, but this is a middle, because it is like $500 or more. Okay, so what about the competition then? So we have here the Orient Ray 2, right? So Orient Ray 2, I've checked out quite a lot of Orient Rays, Orient Meiko, and recently the Orient Kamasu. So there, in my experience, and I've watched a ton of YouTube videos about Orient divers watches, and they never mention about any chapter ring alignment issue on any particular Orient, right? So if you do know another YouTuber that tells you that the Orient divers has such an alignment chapter ring alignment issue, please do let me know, right? So the other competition is this Citizen Flowmaster, right? So this is the NY0040. So this model is in the same league, or in the same this model was issued or was introduced similarly to the time the Seiko SKX 007 was introduced, right? So by right, if they are produced in the same era, the same technology, the same case material and everything, by right they should also have the same alignment issues. But you never, right? So you never really heard about any YouTubers in the social media talking about a misaligned chapter ring on any particular Citizen, right? So this is, I've checked out 2 or 3 Citizen divers watches as of now, and I've never found any chapter ring alignment issue as of now, right? So I'm not sure about the latest release, but still, this is what is my experience with the Citizen and the Orient. So again, the question is, would you go for a $900 or $800 Seiko, right? Okay, my suggestion or my opinion is this: if you can buy from a brick and mortar store, yes, please go ahead, and it's your money, right? So it's your money, it's your right to do whatever, but please do check out the chapter ring alignment issue. So that is one thing. If you could buy at brick and mortar store, you can check out the chapter ring, you can check out all the quality before you decide to buy it. But the problem is, most of us are going, for me at least, I'll always buy online, and that is where this chapter ring alignment issue is going to be really annoying, right? Because when you buy online, you just you just really just rely on the seller's skill to check. So the seller send it to you, and then you receive it, and you see, bam, you've got the misaligned chapter ring issue, and it's quite a hassle to return it back. So anyway, so that is my opinion, guys. So for me, I don't know. So it's quite difficult for me to say to you, go ahead and buy your $800 or $900 Seiko. But if it's under $500, such as this Seiko Turtle series, I can understand because the cost is not that much. Anyway, so yes, of course, the cost of ownership is different compared to the to countries and such, but still, $900 for a misaligned chapter ring. Come on, Seiko, you guys can do a lot better than this, and I really hope that they will improve their quality in the future. But you know what, as we can see for the past 2 or 3 years release, I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure. It's for a Seiko fanboy. I really hate to say this, but yeah, I think Seiko really needs to step up their game. Otherwise, their customers will go for the other alternatives, such as the Citizen or the Orient. And in my case, I think the latest Orient Kamasu is a really a much better deal compared to this Seiko Shogun. Okay, so that is all what I'm going to share. I'm going to share with you today. So please go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of video. If you want to tell me your opinion, please go ahead and comment in the comment section down below. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Oh, you know what? Let's do a loom check. So, hold on. Let me charge this a bit so that we can see how the loom looks like.